In 2025, I sold over $1 million worth of product on Amazon, and this is episode 8 of me scaling my business from $1 to $3 million in 2026. Before we get into the video, one thing I want to mention, if you haven't already signed up to my newsletter, you should definitely check it out. Each week I give free game in there talking about Amazon and how to start and scale your own operation, and I post once a week every single Wednesday, so I definitely recommend you go ahead and check it out if you want to start or scale your Amazon business. With all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this week's results. All right, so this week is going to cover 215 to 221, so let's go ahead and get into it. You can see here that we bought 830 units this week with an average cost of goods of about $24, ASP of almost $43, and 61 unique ASINs. You can see that we bought these at about a 26% ROI with a 14.5% margin. Estimated sales right at around 35,000 with spend looking at 19,000 and profits looking at about $5,000. Really not too happy with the spend this week. Definitely need to get that up. We had a really good week last week, so I guess it kind of balances out, but 20K is just a little bit too low. That's really only under like $3,000 a day, so we need to be getting that closer to like 4,000. So definitely got to push harder, but granted, I was out of town this past week. Next thing is going to be our net profit and net margin projections, which we can see is almost at $19,000 in net profit, and net margin is sitting close to about 12% here. So now you guys can see the numbers at face value for what we're looking like this week. Let's go ahead and jump into the Google Sheets so you can actually see some of the more specific data. All right, so now here in Sheets, we're going to go ahead and look at some of the projections that we have overall. So currently we're sitting at about a 28% ROI, margins at about 15.6%, estimated sales are at $162,000, spend is at $90K, and profits are at about $25,399. So all in all, we're still very far ahead on the month. I actually want to close this month at over $120,000 in spend. Reason why is because we're already at 90, so at this rate, we should be able to crack 120 just like we did last month. And I think for March, we're definitely going to set a spend goal of about 130 to 140 in spend, because if we want to get to 3 million this year, we're going to have to start selling close to, $230,000 a month, so that in Q4 we can actually only have to sell like $600,000 to $700,000, maybe $800,000, which that's going to be a big mountain to climb. So definitely going to start increasing our spend goals, because 100,000 is just too low at this point, and it ultimately won't get us to 3 million. You can see now that our units are at 3,400, a little bit over that. You can see that our ACOG is $26.28, and our ASP is now $47.40. Okay, so all in all, again, looking really strong. We're about 15K over our spend right now on the 21st day, and profits are about $7,000 over where they need to be. If we go ahead and take a look at the stuff that is pretty much on hold, so a lot of the stuff from back in like 214 has now been off a hold, which is a good sign. We can see that there's only a few things here that are currently on hold, and that's actually from the first week. But in terms of this week, I think a lot of the spend is going to be generated from stuff that's on hold, because as you guys can see, there is quite a lot of stuff that is sitting over here on the right side. We can see spend and sales values pretty high here, and there's quite a lot of transactions. So I actually think we spent probably more than that 20K that I pulled from this sheet, which is a great sign. So all in all, I think I will be looking up this week. Just got to, again, keep the momentum rolling. Got to get over 120K. It's just non-negotiable. So now let's go ahead and take a look at our net projections here. So based on our overhead inputs up until this point, we are now sitting at the same numbers that you guys saw on screen from the Google Doc, and revenue after returns is sitting at about $160,000. So with all this information out of the way and how we're doing, let's go ahead and look at Sellerboard to see what we made this week in real time from real data. All right, so here in Sellerboard, you can see we had a pretty good week this week, looking at about $56,000 in revenue with over 1,000 units sold, 57 refunds, and about $9,000 in gross profit. And if we take a look at our refund rate here, we're actually sitting at about 5.65%. So I'm not really sure what caused the spike there. That's not really great, but what is great is it's sitting at a 16% gross margin. So now let's go ahead and figure out what our net margin is and our net profit is for this week. Okay, so I just added pretty much our total overhead, which is going to be prep plus our regular overhead, and it looks like we're sitting at about $2,000 in prep plus overhead this week. So now let's go ahead and subtract that by our net profit to see how much we made net this week. All right, and you can see that we made actually $7,000 this week. So really good week, even with a high return rate. Really surprised that we actually cracked this much profit with a 5.65 return rate. But let's go ahead now and see out of this 7,000, basically, what is going to be our net margin for this week of February. Okay, and again, if you guys don't know how to find net margin, all you're going to do is take your net profit and divide it by the amount you sold for the week. So in this example, we can see that we're sitting at a net profit margin of about 12.29%. So really, really solid stuff this week. Really great week overall. Made a lot of money with good margin. And if we can keep that kind of momentum rolling, we're going to be making, 20, 25K a month. And then hopefully in Q4, we can do close to pretty much 100K. So overall, pretty good week. Spend felt a little bit lackluster, if I'll be honest, but I'm going to go ahead and get into what what I plan to work on for this next week and sort of why spend was a bit lackluster this past week, in my personal opinion. And one more thing before I forget, yes, this is the payouts for this week. So you can see for this week, we had gotten paid out these amounts here highlighted on screen. Actually, I almost forgot one, so it'll be these 4 amounts on screen. That brings our payouts to a total of about $75,000. So again, we're just a little bit under what we're spending, which with the fact that I have 0% APR credit cards and a good bit of cash flow behind me, still not a huge deal. Spend and capital has been getting a bit tight. Not necessarily spend has been booming, but capital and being capital constrained has been tightening down on me a bit. So I do need to look into getting loans soon, but there's just no way for me to lower my utilization. So I'm just going to keep riding the hot hand and keep sourcing when the deals are coming to me. And then once sourcing slows down, if it ever does, that's when I plan to get my util lower and start applying for credit applications and hopefully getting more credit available to me. All right, and then let's go ahead and jump into sort of what I was working on this week. So really a lot of maintenance work. Okay, so I was out of town for about half the week to go visit a buddy down in Austin, Texas, which if you don't know, I literally met this guy doing Amazon FBA. So we both run FBA businesses. He's trying to scale to like 5 million this year. So dude's an absolute killer. Went to visit him for a few days and see how Austin was. But because of that, obviously I wasn't able to do my normal routine, source as much as I'd like, that kind of stuff. Now we had a ton of leads in the pipeline ready to go. So that's why we were able to still maintain a healthy amount of spend. But the biggest thing was that I was just trying to maintain and make sure everything was running like normal. Okay, so no calls with the sourcer because of this either, was out of town, like I said. So really just trying to move regular priorities forward and make sure that spend was getting accounted for and everyone kind of knew what they were supposed to do for the week and sort of just staying on track with what moves the needle forward. Now, while I was on the trip, there were some software bug fixes that I had to make. There were some times where my VAs could not add in any entries into our software because it was being too slow. So what I did to fix this was I decided to make a pagination, is what it's called. And basically all this is like if you guys have ever used the software where your number of entries are limited to like 50 or 100 on a page, and then you have to click the next button for it to load the next 50 to 100 entries. That's pretty much what I did and created in our internal software. This was to help just overall flow and speed of the software because really you don't need to pull up every single bought ASIN in the past month. It's just unnecessary, especially if the software can't actually handle it. So what I decided to do was just make everything a limit of about 50 items per page, and that seemed to have done the trick. So that was handled luckily, but I was working on that sort of momentarily throughout the trip, here and there in the hotel, in the airport, and just trying to get that stuff fixed because obviously we can't be having internal leakage. That's just something that I really want to make sure is not happening because that was the whole point of making the software in the first place. So now if we go ahead and move into some struggles or talking points that I want to address this week, something that did happen while I was on this trip is I had a couple of ASINs worth multiple thousands of dollars that I had gotten emailed for, which was basically Amazon notifying me that, hey, we're going to shut these ASINs down in 30 days if compliance documents for some safety issue is not received. Now, this obviously sucks because, you know, nobody wants to get hit with compliance documents that they have nothing they can submit for. And this is just part of selling on Amazon and sometimes part of the game and what happens. Things are going to be out of your control, not much you can do about it. And really my only option was to move forward from this. And if I can give you guys a lesson here, which I have on screen, is that in business, but especially with Amazon, things are just going to be out of your control and going wrong literally all the time. And I mean, probably daily, right? Maybe let's say a supplier that you're buying from, let's go with the sale they were running. Now you can't spend thousands of dollars on that ASIN, or you have compliance documents you don't have documentation for, or you get an IP complaint that you weren't expecting to get one for. I mean, there's so much stuff that can go wrong, and you just got to learn to move past it, right? I could have really let this affect me on the trip and been like, oh, what am I going to do? But like, I already knew consciously what I was going to do. And that was to do the same thing I've always done, which is keep buying more product, keep moving forward, and just deal with this as it comes, you know? So all we're going to do now is I reached out to the supplier trying to figure out, hey, can I cancel this order? Because we placed it a couple weeks ago and it still hadn't shipped. Looks like it did actually ship and it was already inbounded to the Amazon warehouse. So I guess I wasn't staying on top of that as much as I probably should have. But again, that's kind of what my team handles. So it was a shock to me that, oh, they shipped and Prep Center's already prepped it and it's off to the warehouse. So we're just going to look to sell through. We got 30 days. I'm really not too worried about it. And you know, it's like, what else could I have done? Can't really do much when there's compliance issues that I was unaware that was going to happen and stuff that I have no form of documentation to provide evidence to sort of beat whatever counterfeit, or not counterfeit, but just compliance claim that they claim against me. And this is going to happen to everybody on that listing. So you just got to adapt, right? I mean, just move forward, keep sourcing better products, and just keep the machine going. And then some stuff I want to work on for next week is going to be teaching my VA how to forecast for restocking. I know I had mentioned I was going to do this in last week's video. Again, was on the trip, so I didn't have much time, but definitely need to get that in somehow. He has already been learning a bit about how to do forecasting and restocking because now he is able to sort sort of go into our seller central and see if we have stock on stuff. Hey, I can actually resubmit this. So he's starting to learn forecasting, but I still got to give him access to seller board so we can see the full picture. So we're about 50% of the way done with that. I did sort of work on that this week. So I guess all in all, it was sort of like 50% of the way done. Next thing I want to do is with my free time, push for the API Gmail software update to work. And I want to add my sourcing VA's buy sheet into the software. So the reason why I want to add the buy sheet into the software is because right now, in order for me to pay him out his commissions, which if you don't know, the way I structure my VA incentives for my sourcing VA is basically I give him commission on any lead that he finds me. And we do that based in spend numbers. So we have different tiers for different levels of spend that we can get across on a certain ASIN. So he's sort of responsible for knowing all the back-end things about a supplier and also being able to go out and find good products through the various ways of sourcing, like reverse sourcing, brand sourcing, manual sourcing, sort of anything that you can think of. So because of that, I need to track down and account for when, pretty much products get bought in full, or if they're only bought like 50% of our expected amount. And if it's sub 50%, this guy doesn't get paid. So I needed a better way to go ahead and track this because I actually plan to hire a second sourcing VA here in the next couple of weeks. And because of that, I don't want to have to start tracking two people's commissions. I'd rather a software just do it for me. And the software should be able to do this because it does have API access to Google Sheets. And not only that, it also has access to our entire buy sheet now that we track everything in the software, meaning any time that it can pick up that an item was bought from his list or whatever the case may be, basically from his submission, it'll go ahead and track that and then tell me how much I got to pay him out. Very similarly to how I do it, except there's no manual review needed. I know it's a little bit complicated, but for like the internal systems that we have, it makes total sense. So I definitely would like to get that added. I'm not sure if it's going to happen this week, but that is something that I just have in the to-do list. And then the last thing is going to be continue to work on the big ungate I'm striving for. This is going to be something that I'm probably going to say literally every week for like the next 2 months. I got to dial in with just getting better documentation and proof of ownership. They've been asking me for tons of stuff like shipping deliveries and like taking photos with the actual product in hand. So it's just been a real pain right now, but we're going to get it figured out because, I obviously have money invested into this, and this is going to be a big brand that's going to help us move towards that $3 million goal for this year. All right. And with that, that is pretty much going to wrap up everything that I was working on this week and how sort of the overall week went. Again, took a little bit of time off to go see a buddy down in Austin. So not too much got done in terms of moving the needle forward, but definitely got a lot of good ideas coming back and just ready to get back to work. So overall, super excited to keep pushing forward. And that's going to be all for episode 8. So I'll catch you guys in episode 9. So till next time, I will see you guys then. Peace out.